Live streaming is on.
Hello, this is World University and School's live stream, question and answer, news on Monday, August 10th, 2020. If you'd like to join this conversation in real-time video conferencing, email info@worlduniversityandschool.org. And today I'd like to talk about upcoming developments for World University and School, and namely that World University and School is seeking to matriculate undergraduate students for around September 1st, 2020 on an emerging WUAS Open EDX platform via Wiki France. So we would like to offer a few courses from MIT OpenCourseware into the new emerging WUAS World University and School Open edX platform. The first course we've created in the startup Wiki France kit is Circuits and Electronics, which is a course from MIT OpenCourseware that the CEO of edX, Anant Agarwal, created at MIT as a professor of EECS there in 2007. And there are a few other EDX instances of this course, adaptations of this course. And World University and School would like to go from the Creative Commons for MIT OpenCourseware course into a new Circuits and Electronics introduction at WUAS Open EDX. And instead of being a 15-week long course, we'd like to cut it in half and make it a 7 to 8 week long course without complex numbers, for example, and to offer this course to prospective EECS majors at World University at School for free to students bachelor's degrees online in English first. So in addition to this very first WUAS Open EDX course, Circuits and Electronics Introduction, if it's possible in the next 3 weeks, we would like to also offer about 5 other courses. And for our other majors, general engineering, general science, English, history, and business. So these would be available on the WS Open EDX platform. They would be from MIT OpenCourseware prospectively. And also they would emerge potentially with the help of people who had expertise in these fields, say an Introduction to Fiction course taught by Wynne Kelly, a professor at MIT, who's created an MIT OpenCourseware course of this name. Perhaps a graduate student of hers could help facilitate cutting it in half and making it Open EDX platform friendly at World University and School. So in this process of seeking to offer an introductory course in all of our World University and School 6 majors, we are seeking students, 18-year-olds, 25-year-olds, 50-year-olds, who are interested in matriculating in a 4-year program for free to students bachelor's degrees because of the Creative Commons for licensing of MIT OpenCourseware. And we've reached out so far to a number of groups of students, prospective students, and are continuing to do so. This upcoming Thursday is another Open EDX community meeting. I think it's at 1 p.m. East Coast Eastern Standard Time with the Riff Analytics company, who I think looks at how video conferencing can be a kind of riffing. And World University and School would like to add this component into our classes. Conference method, you might call it, or seminar, or potentially even riffing, as in musical jamming. So students talking about ideas, serious ideas, interesting, fascinating, complex ideas with each other to generate new ideas in the context of a class. Now, how would this be analyzed, or how would this help students learn further in the assessment as part of a learning conversation framework? Well, Riff Analytics may offer new opportunities to explore and develop these questions in video conferencing, which is amazing and great. So if you'd like to matriculate for a 4-year program at World University and School, email info@worlduniversityandschool.org. If you know of someone in any of the 200 countries in the world who speaks English, an 18-year-old perhaps who just finished high school, who might be interested in online, free to students, best STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and liberal arts, so STEAM, online degrees, as we license and accredit with organizations in the state of California, please email info@worlduniversityandschool.org. It's an exciting time for education in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. So many great universities are going online, and this opens up an opportunity for all kinds of innovations for World University and School as well on the Open EDX platform, and potentially with Best STEM Creative Commons for open courseware into World University and School Open EDX. Free and Best STEM CC4 open courseware degrees are really something quite unusual and remarkable, and a new opportunity. So come join in. Info@worlduniversityandschool.org if you know of students who might be interested, or if you yourself might be interested. As you probably realize or know, World University and School is also Wiki. On the other hand, besides free to students degrees. So if you would like to teach at World University and School, teach to a YouTube video and add it to a Wiki subject page at World University and School. worlduniversityandschool.org is where you can find the Wiki subject pages. So in the remaining time today, in this WUS News question and answer live stream on August 10th, 2020, I'd like to talk a little bit about the minutes from last open monthly business meeting, which you can join in, and where your input and thoughts and ideas and questions would be most welcome and helpful. Our next monthly business meeting, open monthly business meeting, is this upcoming Saturday, August 15th, 2020 at 9 a.m. Pacific time, California time. So send an email to info@worlduniversityandschool.org and let me know if you'd like to join this monthly business meeting, loosely in the manner of Quakers, of friends. So seeking a kind of consensus and a shared process that leads to kind of an agreement, shared understanding of agreement about next steps in the development of World University and School. You can help create World University and School as we grow. So the minutes from last month on August 5th, 2020 are as follows. Via the OpenEDX service partner, Wiki France, World University and School has started its very first course, WUAS 002, the Circuits and Electronics Introduction, on the emergent WUAS OpenEDX platform. And if you look below the recording of this video, you will find some links where you can see the beginnings of this course as it emerges. Minute number 2. World University and School seeks to matriculate undergraduate students beginning 9/1/20, September 1st, 2020, via the emergent WUAS OpenEDX platform. So please join in. Our 6 majors are, again, EECS, General Science, General Engineering, English, History, and Business at this point. Perhaps our majors will grow in number with time. Beyond the bachelor's degree, World University and School is also seeking to offer PhD, law, and MD degrees, and in each of all 200 countries, official and main languages. Minute number 3, World University and School will seek to develop in the French language, which is an official language in 29 out of 206 countries in the world, and in Portuguese language as well. For example, in Brazil and Portugal. And these will emerge both as wiki schools and for online degrees in all of these countries, potentially. World University and School would also like to offer high school degrees, something like international baccalaureate diplomas, but that's all unfolding. And potentially from MIT OpenCourseWare High School and MIT OpenCourseWare Blossoms sort of Creative Commons 4 resources into the WUS OpenEDX platform. Item number 4, in addition to creating a realistic virtual Earth for example, drawing, which is something the Wiki France 2 courses, which won an instructional design prize from OpenEDX. The courses won this prize for sharing knowledge about how people in Paris might renovate their apartments ecologically. If there were a drawing program in something like Google Street View with Time Slider, Google Maps, so one could create one's own architectural drawings, that could complement the courses that the Wiki France put onto the Open EDX platform. So in addition to a realistic virtual Earth for drawing, World University and School is seeking to create one realistic virtual Earth for everything, including a realistic virtual Earth for languages. So you may know that World University and School seeks to be not only in all 200 countries' official and main languages, but also in all known living languages, 7,117, and potentially in all languages that ever existed. And the largest list I know of that enumerates the number of languages in the world is called, it's Glottolog, and it recently has listed 8,515 entries in languages. And what's exciting about Realistic Virtual Earth for Languages here is that Glottolog has recently added maps of where languages are spoken. So these are in a way like Google Maps, and if possible, World University and School would like to, with time and very innovatively, even combine Google Maps and these maps with Google Street View, with Time Slider, and realistic avatar bots like Samsung Neons, also known as artificial humans, brainstorming wise. And if it's possible, we would like to scroll back the time slider function in Google Street View to an ancient part of the world where a language was spoken, maybe still spoken today, maybe it's gone extinct, and potentially even iteratively speak with, call them artificial humans from that time, who linguists might help develop language for, and thereby iteratively again find a way to both preserve and regenerate languages and gain knowledge about such languages. World University and School seeks to facilitate this also with a new social science method that I'm calling Ethno-Wiki Virtual World Graphy, where we can all add resources, evidence, to a virtual world, such as Google Street View with Time Slider, and create interpretations, which is part of the ethnographic process methodology. So stay tuned for this. On top of all of this, we would also like to facilitate a universal translator, and a great one, for all known living languages, 7,000 known living languages, and potentially ancient languages as well. Item 5. In developing WUAS Open EDX, WUS seeks at this stage to plan for all 7.5 billion people on planet Earth as Wiki Universitians for open teaching and learning among speakers of all 7,100 languages. So in doing so, we would create the opportunity for all of us to become Wiki teachers and learners. Wiki, from the Hawaiian word meaning wiki, I think means fast. And the opportunity here is at a Wiki subject page presently at World University and School called You at World University. And furthermore, in doing so, for matriculating WUAS students in 200 countries, we would like to explore facilitating UBI, Universal Basic Income experiments, such as the Stockton, California, from Sacramento, California UBI experiment, in order to distribute a single cryptocurrency backed by most of 200 countries' central banks, and significantly to alleviate poverty. So in this scenario, Wiki Universitians at World University and School would be able to Wiki create courses also in the emerging WUAS Open EDX platform, and again in all 7,000 languages, in their own native languages, in your own native languages. And part of this would potentially involve collaborating with a sister wiki project called Wiki, a genealogy platform, which is stated goal is planning for a single family tree with genetics, with people being able to add their genetic analyses, such as in Ancestry.com and 23andMe, and for also all 7.5 billion people in these regards, and presumably for people who have also passed away, since that's what genealogy is about. So stay tuned for this. Item 6, Sri Lanka World University and School is helping to focus developing WUAS on Google Sites in the Sinhala language and in a number of other languages, Hindi, German, and Quechua. And the head of Sri Lanka World University and School, M. Rifai, is WUAS's first chancellor out of about 200 chancellors in all 200 countries, World University and School universities, in those countries' official languages. And in order to communicate effectively with, for example, the Sri Lanka Minister of Education and the Minister of Finance there too, for example. So item 7, World University and School YouTube live streams and recordings have recently begun again on our main channel, our main WUAS YouTube channel, youtube.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH. So those are the minutes I wanted to share with you by way of news too, and in preparation for the next open monthly business meeting, loosely in the manner of friends, which meets this Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, August 15th, 2020. You're welcome to join. Email info@worlduniversityandschool.org if you're interested in participating. I'd just like to switch to the minutes for the July 18th, 2020 WUAS Corporation Board meeting. And the WUAS Press, or the WUAS Corporation, is a parallel legal entity to World University and School, which is a legal entity both in the US itself at the federal level as a 501c3 and in California as a nonprofit as well. So the separate legal entity, the WUAS Press, is a legal entity in California, and here it's a for-profit general stock company, not yet started. And just briefly, 3 minutes. So as World University and School seeks to facilitate a single cryptocurrency, such as the cryptocurrency MinePi or the cryptocurrency of note Bitcoin, in most of all 200 countries, potentially by universal basic income experiments to alleviate poverty, there will probably be need of stabilizing from risks of price fluctuation in a free market with digital currencies. And in the minutes I'll post below this video recording, you can see a graph where Bitcoin price recently dropped very, very dramatically. This is a further reason in this brand new world of cryptocurrencies and central banks in all 200 countries in so-called time of free markets, in an ever increasingly enwebbed internet world, globalized in between all 200 countries, for example, with their legal systems. The World University in Schools seeks to explore how facilitating a single cryptocurrency to potentially even alleviate poverty, distributed via UBI experiments, could be partly stabilized. How could this currency be sort of potentially lowered in risk, and perhaps with many parallels to current so-called paper currencies or coin-based currencies pre-Bitcoin, pre-single digital currency. Stay tuned for this. Check out the minutes. Minute B, thinking again in terms of potentially all 7.5 billion people because of the internet and the web. And in a time of the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic, how to go from genetic tests, for example, for the COVID-19 in people in South Korea pulling into parking lots and in California pulling into parking lots and getting tested on the spot, into the Google Apple coronavirus tracing application, which has been developed in the past few months, but I think there's probably still a lot more to develop. It helps potentially identify the way a virus or an epidemic might be transmitted. And with this knowledge, it might be possible to dramatically lessen the severity of an epidemic or a viral outbreak. And how would this go into electronic medical records directly, all at the speed of the internet? So how to go from genetic tests, and even with mutating viruses, so the test will probably have to be changeable and developable, into the Google Apple coronavirus tracing application, into electronic medical records for people in all 200 countries in their official languages. And even via something World University in School is exploring and calling avatar bot electronic medical records. And avatar bot electronic medical records would facilitate even a remarkable imaging, and for things like telerobotic surgery of the future. So is it possible to combine genetic tests into Google Apple coronavirus tracing application into avatar bot electronic medical records for all 7.5 billion people with universal basic income experiments to alleviate poverty? Big questions. Stay tuned. Potentially some of this may take form via you at World University in School, planned for all 7.5 billion people. And where World University in School, again, to clarify what World University in School is about, is like Best STEM CC4 OpenCourseWare in its 4 languages presently, with Wikipedia in its 300 language presently, and for 200 online medical schools with online teaching hospitals too. I'll post some of these resources and links below this video recording. And the last minute, minute C, for the WUS Press, WUS Corporation, focuses on the recent development at World University in School that the WUAS Educational Services Store is now carrying Lego robotics, 3 kits. Go to worlduniversityinschool.org/academicpress.html, and you'll see the 3 kits. And in what ways in this minute can further the WUS Educational Services Store begin to carry educational resources such as the Google Pixel 4a smartphone, and in all 200 languages. And this would potentially help our matriculated students in a variety of ways as education, Google Education, since World University and School is in G Suite for Education, develops in new remarkable ways, potentially with the Open EDX platform too. So that's the news and question and answer and live stream for today. YouTube.com/WORLD, UNIVANDSCH is the YouTube channel. Twitter.com/WORLD, UNIVANDSCH is the Twitter channel. Another Twitter channel for the WS Press is twitter.com/WUASPRESS. And I'm Scott McLeod. This is World University and School's news live stream question and answer on Monday, August 10th, 2020. Next week, same time, same place, 10 a.m. Pacific time on the web, video conferencing. You're welcome to join this conversation. I would be happy to interview you if you were interested in sharing your thoughts, for example, or a whole series of other possible configurations if you would like to join the conversation. worlduniversityandschool.org is the website, and info@worlduniversityandschool.org is the email address. And see you next week at 10 a.m. Pacific time in World University and School's YouTube live stream. Bye for now. Thank you.